Hello everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Donut Day. I should have probably done tacos. Hi Ruby. Hi Shannon. I should have probably done tacos, right? Because it's Cinco de Mayo Day. But I forgot. So I chose donuts because I thought donuts were actually a little bit prettier than tacos. Yeah, I know. So today we're going to do donuts, and I think they're fun and so pretty, right? Like so pretty. And then on Thursday, we're going to continue our Mother's Day cards, and we are going to work on some cards. All right, and we're just going to review that rose thing again. We're going to work on some text, that kind of thing on Thursday. So other than that, we'll be working on donuts today. All right, so let's start with what we need for this class. So you need some watercolors. This is just a cheapo set. And I, though, am going to try some Crayolas today. You know, I always say you can pick the cheap stuff and you don't have to have anything fancy. So I'm going to use regular Crayolas. And I have been pretty impressed with these babies. So stay tuned for that. So this is what I'm using for my watercolors. I'm also using a Crayola brush. And so this brush is called a Crayola 1000, and it's size 7. And it's not the tiniest thing, but this is what I am using for, it's a pretty good brush. I'm liking it. So I'm going to use that. I'm also going to use another brush, and this is actually going to be for my last step. We're going to actually use some white today for the first time ever. All right, so you need some watercolor paper, right? So I've got some watercolor paper here. This is Michael's brand, and it's 140-pound paper, so it's very, very heavy, and you need some of that. You also could use some cardstock. That works really good too. Okay. What I like to do is I like to take this piece of paper, cut it in half, and then I am left with a card-like piece of paper that looks like this, and then I fold it in half and use it like this. We are not going to do an exercise today. We are going to first just start with drawing and stuff because I want us to like really get into some of these little baby details on this card, okay? Another thing that I want you to know is that I like to use a pen, right? And so at the very last step, I use a Uniball Signo pen. It's 207, and it's a bold pen, and it is one of my favorite pens. I use it on everything, so that is something that I'm going to do. You also need a pencil. And of course, my favorite pencil eraser is the kneaded eraser, right? It is a rubber and it does not make a mess, and it's my favorite. You can buy it in the art departments, art stores. All right. Oh, and lastly, now I know that y'all probably don't have this on you, but this is what my last step is. This is going to be using some white acrylic paint for the very, very tip highlights, because it's really hard to do little highlights on donuts without it. So I just wanted to say that. You need a paper towel also. All right, are we ready? Let's get to drawing. Okay, so in order to do, what is this? This is 9 donuts, right? Hello, Carrie. How are you? We're doing some donuts today. I hope you're joining us. All right, so we're going to start with my tic-tac-toe, my famous tic-tac-toe that I always do, right? All right, so what I'm going to do with the tic-tac-toe, I'm going to see if I can't put that up here. And I'm going to do this down here. So I'm going to lightly draw I'll do it a little bit darker for you guys so you can see, but I first want to make sure I got it right. Tic-tac-toe, just like that. So I'm going to just make this a little bit bigger here. Y'all see that? Carrie people is from Vancouver. Canada, right? I think it is Canada. Yeah, I'm sure it is. We met in a workshop together. All right, so now we're going to draw some zeros, right? Some donuts, which are big round dots, round stuff. So I would say that you could find something round and you could trace it if you wanted to. But I want to encourage you to wing it. Yes, we're going to try to wing it, all right? I want us to try to practice drawing circles without that. So here's what I want us to do. I want you to look at this for a minute. I want it to be pretty big inside these squares. I don't want it to be tiny, all right? And I want you to know that I'm going to use my eraser probably more than you've ever seen me use my eraser, okay? So I'm going to sit here, and remember, I'm going to ghost it. Ghosting is with your finger and your hand. I'm going to lift my hand off of my paper like that, and I'm going to move from my shoulder, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to play with it. Now, if this corner is bothering you, we could start down here. All right? Let's just start down here. I think this is fine. So I'm going to come here, and now what I do is I actually hold my pencil the right way, but then I put my pinky out and I put it on. Make sure your pinky is clean, FYI, to do this. I've done this with paint on it. That did not work well. All right, so I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to try several times to get a round circle. So there's one. Then I'm going to come over and I'm going to do another one. I don't want them to touch, but I want them to be big enough. Yeah. All right. I'm doing it again. And I'm just coming in and I'm trying to make them as big as I can. Instagram, it says that the connection's bad. FYI. I will say this, my power's gone out like 3 times today. No storms. Lots of wind though. Nashville here, right? We're having some electricity and storm issues. So, you're going to continue to draw your circles. Easy does it, right? And you see, I'm gone several times around. Okay. Now, before I go and draw my circles inside, I'm going to clean these up just a little bit. All right? So, I've got my kneaded eraser, and I'm going to come in, and I'm going to erase what I think is not necessary. All right? And I might start erasing my guidelines, my tic-tac-toe. I don't need them anymore. The reason we did a tic-tac-toe board to begin with is because we needed to space out evenly our circles. And a tic-tac-toe board really does help with that, right? So, how many of y'all like donuts? I have some people in my life that love donuts. I swear every time I go to their house, they have donuts there. I don't eat a lot of donuts. I only really like Krispy Kreme. We don't have one near. Now, I want you to notice that I am doing it to where I also am like getting, I'm going to zoom in here. You see how I'm erasing some of my lines completely, right? You all see that? And the reason is because I don't want these lines all the time. Like, I'm just trying to hint at it and say, okay, so this is a line here. Because we can fix that with some paint, right? Ooh, this one was kind of wonky. And I guess it doesn't have to be perfect, right? because this is art therapy, and art therapy does not have to be perfect, right? Okay, I'm gonna now erase this. Now, let's see how dark did I actually do these lines. Not too bad. Not too bad. We're working on it. Okay. All right. How are you guys doing on a Tuesday afternoon? We have had storm after storm here. I'm over it. Okay, so I have my circles. Now I've got to do my inside donut holes, right? I want you to look at how far apart, like they're small, all right? So I'm coming in and I'm just kind of adding little baby circles to these. Not hard, right? And they don't have to be near as big or as perfect as the outside edges. Because, you know, donuts really aren't, honestly. Okay, I think that's looking good. Now, we get to decide, we got two things to do here. I am using the Crayola, right? Well, Crayola doesn't have that goldy color that I love so much. So I'm actually going to make my goldy color with this Crayola paint set. So I want y'all to notice that every paint set has a lid, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix some of that. Now, I'll be honest with you ladies. This paintbrush, I just can't stand. I have to say, a brush snob. So I can't use that. I'm going to use the other Crayola one, all right, that I have here. And that's what I'm going to use. So in order to make, I'm going to call it the Krispy Kreme color, this goldy color. We're going to try to figure out how to make that. So I'm going to get some, we need to make sure that we also, you know, activate our watercolors. So before I do that, I'm going to squirt it. Now, if you don't have a squirt bottle, you can do each individual one, right? Okay, so here we are. I'm going to try to make that color. So I'm going to start with yellow first. So I've got some water on my brush. I'm going to get some yellow on my brush. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to just paint this part right here. Now, if this isn't clean for you, you should clean it off first. Okay, so I have yellow. I'm now going to wipe off my yellow on my paper towel. Get some more water. Make sure it's clean. And now, this has brown. So I am actually going to take some brown. So I'm going to get a little bit of brown here. And I'm going to put it over here with this one. I'm getting better there. That's getting better. That's almost too much brown though. So I should probably get a little bit of, well, maybe not. Maybe I just need some more water, right? Remember, how do we make a watercolor lighter? We add water, right? So I'm going to get some more water on my brush and I'm just going to put it in there. You see how that made that lighter? Automatically. Okay, now, since I have white paper here, I'm going to test this out. Oh, I like it. I think that would work just fine. Okay, so that is going to be my donut color. Now, I've got 9 of these to do. Do you think I can do all 9 of them with this much? I kind of think, thank you, Ruby. I'm so glad you've been paying attention, babe. All right, I'm going to make a little bit more of this just because I'm worried that I won't have enough. So I've got some yellow, putting it down. Going to wipe off my brush, get some more brown. This time I'm going to do just a little bit of brown and put it in there. And see how I'm making it just a little bit bigger each time. I'm going to get some more water. Get some more water. All right, now I feel pretty good about that. I think I can do 9 that way. So I'm going to move this off to the side and I'm going to do it here. Now, here's the thing. I want us to use as little water as possible. I know that's going to be hard to do because it's water, right? Like it's water-based. But they have to dry pretty fast. So what I'm saying is I don't want you to spend a whole lot of time and I don't want you to go around and around and around forever. I want a light coat of this goldy color along all of these. Okay, so that's what I'm doing first. I'm doing all of these real lightly all the way around. And hopefully by the time we get done, those will be almost dry. That's what we're hoping for anyways. Notice I don't have to be perfect about it either. I'm just kind of throwing some paint down. Don't you like that? Just throwing some paint down. And I'm coming in and just adding some. Now, I will say this. I do like this brush. I wish it was kind of a little bit softer, but for the most part, it's been pretty good. I've only tried it for today. And so it's been pretty interesting for sure. All right, so here we go. I've almost got all of it done. All right, gonna come in and do this one right here. And around and around and around we go. The merry-go-round goes around and round. Now they kind of look like yellow donuts. That's okay. It'll happen, I promise. All right, so here we go. Hopefully these are a little bit drier than they were. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off my brush completely on my paper towel. And now I'm gonna go in with the same color again, but I'm only gonna do one side. Do y'all see that? I'm only gonna do one side. I don't care what side it is, and it doesn't have to be that much, but you see how I'm basically starting to add some depth to this. Like, you know, we can't have flat circles. We're not doing pancakes here, right? Pancakes would be fun to draw though, wouldn't it? Maybe. I already got plans for next week though. I'll have to wait on pancakes. So I'm very lightly adding just a little bit of depth to one side of each one of these donuts. All right. Now, that's pretty good for me. I like it. Can you all tell that that's what you did? Maybe, hopefully. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start thinking about what I actually want. Well, my favorite donut is the chocolate glaze. It's by far the best one of all of them. So I'm going to start there. So how do you make chocolate, right? It's going to be brown. So I'm going to get a little bit of brown on my brush. I'm going to start with this middle one because it's my favorite and I feel like it should be in the thing. One of the things that I'm going to do here is I am not going to paint this whole thing. I'm going to leave some of this goldy part around it. So watch what I do here. I'm going to come in and I am going to come in and I'm going to come in like that. Then I'm going to come in like that. And you see how I've left some spots around. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. Y'all see that? I've gone around it. And I want you to notice that none of these are straight. It's all very rounded. So now I'm going to color this in. But I'm not going in those areas where the gold is, right? Like I'm leaving some of that. And you see how some of it is darker than others? That's perfect. And I'm going to leave that just like that. Okay, right now you're probably saying, well, that's not very dark, but that's okay, right? It's completely all right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add layers like we always do, right? Okay, so that one is a definite. Let's do, I want to do a blueberry one. What do you say? So I'm going to go get me some blue. Okay, now if you have, I'm going to do my blueberry one right here. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to make that little round spots, right? Like I'm coming in and it's kind of, I don't know, what do you want to call that little shape there? Organic. Reminds me of an egg shape, kind of. Eggs meaning like, you know, when you scramble eggs and it pours all over the place. I don't know. I'm just talking now, right? Okay, looking good. All right, so now it might turn green on me. That's okay. It could be a St. Patrick's Day. Let's do strawberry. I'm gonna get me some red. Okay, this time I'm actually gonna make it striped. I'm gonna do stripes. So on these stripes, I'm gonna make it. Do you see how it's just a little bit curved? Just a little bit. I'm leaving that one just the way it is. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Now, how about, does anyone just love the glazed ones? I love just the glazed ones. They're my favorite. Well, other than the chocolate ones. Okay, so to do just the glazed ones, we just need to make, it's basically clear, right? So how do we make it clear? We can't just add water. We got to add a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this color that we made and I'm going to add just a little bit more brown to it. There you go. So I got a little bit of brown and now I'm coming in and I'm going to do glazed. So I'm doing the same thing as I've been doing. Now they're not all the same, right? Like some of them go in and then some of them go out. And some of them go all the way to the edge. So that kind of looks like the chocolate one, but the chocolate one's not done. All right. I'm going to do, what do you want to do next? I think, what about grape? Yeah. All right, so I'm going to get, now I will say that I don't feel like there's a very good purple on the Crayola one, so watch what I'm going to do. There's this magenta purple color over here. I'm going to add it to this area. It's a beautiful color, but it's not very grape-like, right? So I've got this pinky color, and then I'm going to go get me some blue. I'm going to add, oh, doesn't that look like nice and grape? Okay, so I've got some grape, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to do, on this one right here, I'm going to do stripes again. Sorry, brain stopped working. I'm enjoying this too much. All right, I've got me a grape one. Next, I think I'm gonna do maybe another orange one. Maybe, yeah, maybe it's a peach. I don't know, what do you want to call it? So I've got this color here, and I'm going to make, and this one goes right in here. And I'm just adding some color. This one did not get glazed right because it's dripping off the sides, but not as much. Now, how many of y'all are like, I can't even tell what this woman's doing because it all looks the same? I know. I promise it'll get there. So I'm going to go back to some red because I'm going to do more of a light red all over this one. Oh, that's orange. I want red. There we go. And I'm going to add just some down here. I'm going to make sure it's dripping everywhere. Now, how many of you are like, I like sprinkles. I like sprinkles too. So, that's another one. So just hang with me. All right. I think I also like the ones that have, that looks like wheels kind of. So I think I'm going to go with just straight blue again. And I'm going to make it go around and around and around, around. And I'm going to keep doing that. Do you see how they're not straight? They're circled. Okay, this is, guys, the first. I'm going to leave this one just the way it is because he's going to be my sprinkles. All right. This is my first layer, right? So the next thing that I have to do is I have to go through and add my shading layer. So I actually go in the same order that I just went in, which means I start with chocolate. And here's the thing that I'm going to do with it. I'm going to take my brown and I'm going to make some dark areas. So I'm going to make this area dark. I'm going to make this lower part dark. Anywhere it's touching the bottom, I'm going to make a little bit darker than it was. And I'm going to add just a little bit. Now, that looks a little clumpy. So I'm going to add a little bit of water to it and I'm going to blend it out. We've blended a lot, right? So anytime we have a hard line, all we got to do is add some water and we can blend that out just a little bit. And now I've got a chocolate donut. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, so now I'm going to go into this blue one, right? Because that's what we did next. I'm going to take some blue. Yeah, I'm taking some blue and I'm going to do the same thing down here towards the edges. Yes. And all along that area right there. You always want to make one side of this donut hole, right, a little bit darker. Okay, and here we go. That's my round blueberry one. That's looking not bad. Now, if that's bothering you, what do you do to add that right there? You could either keep working it like I'm doing, or you could add some more water to it. But I remember what the goal was for this. I did not want us to have a ton of water this time because I want to be able to get to my last step. So I'm coming over to this red one here. I think we did the glazed one next, but that's okay. Hang with me. And I'm going to do this part right here. So look at what I'm doing with these reds. I'm only doing these edges. And or if it's near this side right here. So this is near, this is near. And I'm going to do a little bit of there, a little bit of there. And I am trying to add some shading just to this whole line of, kind of makes it feel like it's a little striped, but that's okay. I promise from far away. If it's bugging you, again, add a little bit more water and blend it out. You see that? But you do want to have some light spots where you don't touch it again, where it only has one layer. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. All right, I think I'm going to go back to my glazed donut. So I am going to go into that same color that we made. I'm going to add a little bit more dark to it, just a little bit, and I'm going to do the same. Adding it right around to the edge there, there, and a little bit of that. Now, I'm gonna soften that up with a little bit of water. Okay, not bad. I'm gonna take that same color and I'm gonna come over here and do that to this. I'm going to still make this a little bit darker. Okay, now I don't want to add a whole lot to this one because it's going to be my total sprinkles, right? Don't you love sprinkles? Okay, I'm coming back to this. I am coming back. Hi, Facebook people. I hope you come back. So I'm sitting here on my blue one and I'm going to come into only these edges down here at the bottom. And I'm going to come in and add just a little bit to these areas. And if it's bugging you, like I said, add just a little bit more water. Okay. He kind of looks like a spider web, doesn't he? Okay. looking good, people. So Facebook, all I did was I did my purple on my grape one. I did a little bit of red to the bottoms or where the sides of the strawberry one, and I went through and I added a dark area to mostly in the inside and the outside edges of that spider looking one. And that's all I've done while you got disconnected. Like I said, we've not been having very good weather here, so it's kind of been up and at 'em. So I am now to the point where I can sit here and let's start decorating. Okay, and I think this is looking pretty good. Like I could do that. So this goes back to like, let's talk about sparkles, because sparkles is what makes this really fun. So you get to pick and choose. I would not do them all in sparkles. Like, you know, when you get a Dunkin' Donuts, you actually get to have 3 of each one. Maybe do that. So see, we have 3 stripes. We have 2 chocolates and 3 icing ones. Okay, and maybe this one has chocolate, whatever. But I told you it's going to be sprinkles, so we're going to do sprinkles. So I'm going to start with my sprinkled one because I've been just dying to have my sprinkles. So I'm going to take me some red, very tip of it, and I'm going to do little, and you got to make sure that you put them all over the place. All right. So, and you don't want to do too many of them either, right? Like you want to just do a little bit because they're going to be sprinkled somewhere else. So I'm going to now sprinkle these over here on this one right here too. So I'm just going to come in and add a little bit more sprinkles. Now you kind of want to make sure that this is dry before you do this, or you might have a mess. So there's my 1/2 of my sprinkles. Next, I'm going to add just red sprinkles to my strawberry one. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to come in and add red dots. And this is still wet, so it's blending, but that's okay. I've added them anyways. Now I'm going to add a little bit more of these sprinkles to these two. So what I'm going to do is pick a different color. A lot of people, sometimes they do the same color, but sometimes they just have like the blue ones. So you want to make sure that they go in different directions. They can be different sizes. And look how much fun that is. I am going to come over here and do it to this one too. Just like that. I think these are looking so fun. I could eat them. I think I'm going to, you want to do another sprinkles for this? I think I'm going to do just blue sprinkles for the blueberry one. What do you say? So sometimes sprinkles, it's not just sprinkles, there's dots, right? Sometimes they have those little crystal dots. I like those too, but they're not as good as the sprinkles, I don't feel. I'd like to eat. So I'm just going to add a little bit of blue dots to this. Nice, 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 nice. All right, I'm going to add one more color to this dude right here. And what color am I going to add? I think I want like, I don't know, what do you think? I'm going to do purple because I already have it. So I've got purple and I'm coming in and I'm just going to add a few purple ones to this. Not many. I'm not going to do that to this one over here. I want them to all be different, right? So there for a while we were doing it the same, but now we're doing it a little different. Okay, this is as easy as it gets, folks. All right? The next step is to actually sit here and we do some outlining and some highlights and stuff. But this purple one is driving me crazy a little bit, as in it's just too dark. So one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to wet my brush and I'm going to come in here to the middle of this and I'm going to just highlight that area, and then I'm going to come over to my paper towel and wipe it off. If you do that right, you should be getting a little bit of purple on your brush every time, and your paper towel is going to tell you if you are. So I'm coming in and I'm just doing the middles of these because I'm taking up just a little. This is how you erase in watercolor. It doesn't work great, but it does work. And you got to be real gentle with it because otherwise your paper is going to get ruined. But you see how that's working just really lightly. Okay, I'm liking that much better. Okay, is there anything else? Ah, I know. I want to make the sides even darker than they were, okay? So I'm going to take some of my brown. So remember, we made our donut color right here, right? We made our donut color. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more brown in it and add to that same area. I did it twice, okay? I'm going to get me some yellow too as I'm doing it. Make sure you clean off your brush before you go get yellow because you don't want to contaminate. No contamination. All right, I've got that color again. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to do just, remember that first step that we did where I came in and I did just this side of everything? I'm doing it all over again. I'm doing the inside too. Inside and the side. Now, sometimes, you saw that, it's kind of mixing with things. That's all right. Now, this red was completely wet, so I'm going to wipe it off on my paper towel. All right. And now I'm going to wipe it off on my paper towel. Get some more. All right. I'm going to, we need to do this down here, don't we? There's that. I need to do that in there. You gotta, don't forget that middle area, that donut hole. It always helps. Okay. Anybody hungry for donuts now? All right, that's looking good. Okay, now what we're gonna do, I still feel like it needs to be a little bit darker, but I think it's gonna be all right. Okay, so I've got to make sure that this is dry. I'm just hitting it with a thing. You all, it's okay if it's not completely dry, but it's going to be better if it is. So you could pick it up and like, whoo, blow it off or something like that, right? Okay, now this is the next step I wanted to show you all. FYI, in order to clean this, all you got to do is take your paper towel and literally come in with some water. And you just wipe it right off, and voila, now you have a clean palette. That's fantastic, isn't it? Now, I have a little credit card here that is black, so it helps show you that I've got this. I'm going to take just a little bit of this white paint, and I want you to see it's a dot of white paint. Dot, dot. Nothing real. I will say this, I don't ever use, if I used it on watercolor, I don't ever use it on anything else. All right, this one is now just a watercolor brush. Because what happens is when you put this brush into acrylic, acrylic is plastic and it messes up how soft all of the bristles are. So that's why. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of white to my brush. Okay, I'm going to show it right here on this, and I'm going to just do a couple of these white highlights. Now, that's one of the things donuts have. That's how they show how bright and that glaze is. You see how I'm adding just a few? I'm not doing it everywhere. I'm kind of going in the middle of it. Even on these that are striped, I'm doing it. I'm not really paying attention to those stripes at the moment. I'm just adding my highlights to each one. And you see how that's starting to make them look. Oh, you know what? That strawberry one, maybe we should make it with white sparkles. What do you think? I like that idea. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to add just little dots. I'm adding it right on top of that highlight. It doesn't matter. Look how cute that is. I'd eat that donut. That's cute. Okay. I think that's looking pretty good. What do you think, people? You like it? Okay, I do rinse out my water or my paintbrush in water, and I put it on a paper towel after it's clean. Okay, and I'm liking this. So we're going faster than we've ever gone before, right? I know, y'all probably are saying, I wish you'd slow down, woman. It's okay. It's okay. All right, so I'm liking this. This one here's driving me a little crazy. Is it driving you on? It looks like some chunk has been taken out of it. So I'm actually going to make a little bit more of my goldy color. I'm going to just add a little there. That helped it. Doesn't make it look like it's had a bite chunk taken out of it. Now I gotta hit that with a thing because I don't want to get... Alright. Who says that this isn't chocolatey enough? Anybody saying that? Yeah, I'm playing, aren't I? So I'm gonna add just a little bit more brown. And I'm only doing it to the sides. I'm not adding it everywhere. And I'm not going into that area that I highlighted either. Thanks, Chelsea. All right. Here we go. Are we ready to do the last fancy step? Everybody loves this step. Maybe. I do. I love this step. All right. So what we do is we are going to outline these babies. Well, when we outline them, I want you to notice none of these go all the way around these donuts. None of them go all the way around these donuts. And do you also see how messy they are? Come on, let's get free. So, one of the things that I do is I am going to continue just doing one side like that. And I'm still doing that one side that I've been doing, right? Like where I've been highlighting, not highlighting, where I've been adding that shadow to. That's where I'm going with this outline too. And I'm even making it just a little bit darker, like I'm shading kind of with this, right? So I'm coming in and I'm making it just a little bit. That's so cute. I kind of like that spiral one. It looks like a pinwheel. All right. Now, you see I've only done one side of each one of these donuts. And I've only done the inside of one of these donuts. Now, every once in a while, I could add just a little bit. Not much, though. Just when and it's just a little bit. You see that? And it made it look like that. All right, so one of the other things I'm going to do is these ones that have glaze dripping or something, I'm going to come in and I'm going to just highlight some of these drips. So I'm going to add just a little bit of there. You see how I'm just doing a little bit, not much. I'm being real careful not to mess with those highlights though, okay? Because that is going, oh, that's a good, those are some good drips over there. Okay, I'm liking it. Now, on these sparkles, or not sparkles, but on the, what do you call those things? Sprinkles. I'm going to come in and I'm going to do just a few like that, right? Like coming in, and I'm just highlighting a few of them. Not much though. And you see they just pop out just enough, especially these white ones I'm going to do because you can't see them too well. Make sure you do some of those red ones too. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't see some of those red ones. So, you know me. That's not going to do. So now that it's dry, I'm going to add me some red dots. Ooh, I like it. I love it. Look at that. Nice. Okay, guys. How you like your donuts? You want to eat them? And the card could go this way, horizontal, or it could be up and down, right? Now, don't forget to sign your work. Sign my work on the right-hand corner. You can sign it anywhere, but I also like to sign it by the artwork, not down here by itself sometimes, because in case you scan it in or something like that, you want to be able to make sure your signature is with it. And I'm going to just clean up some of my lines still that I can see. Anybody got any questions for today? I am here and able to ask them. You know, tomorrow we are going to have, well, not tomorrow, Thursday we're doing Mother's Day cards. We're going to review a rose. We are actually going to have a rose here so we can really look at doing a rose. But we're also going to do some lettering and learn how to do that, which is really fun. And yeah, that's all that we've got going on. Anybody else have any questions? This one's a quickie, isn't it? Facebook, this is gonna look weird on my playback, but I'll be able to put them together, I think, and hopefully we'll be able to see them on my webpage together. Maybe not on Facebook though. All right, guys. Look at those donuts. Nice. It's so much fun. All right, guys. I'll see you all on Thursday. Happy Cinco de Mayo and have some Mexican food for me. Bye, guys.